of purpose. Connector of purpose. Here are some examples for you. Many plumbers wear a tool belt so that they don't have to go to their truck all the time. We brought 2 hammers so that we could both work at the same time. A so that, which we quickly studied in lesson 14, is a connector used with a purpose of an action. It's like it answers the question, why did or why do you do something? In the second sentence, why did we bring 2 hammers? We brought 2 hammers so that we could both work at the same time. It's usually placed in the middle of a sentence, and often it's used with can or could. So that, and, can or could. Often with can or could. No comma is necessary with this connector. And let's practice this one. Okay, Monica, did you used to watch Carpenters when you were young?
Yes, I did. I watched them so that I could help my father when he was working around the house.
Very good. And Lewis, do you watch Plumbers now?
Not usually. My brother likes to watch them so that he can fix the leaky faucets in our house.
Great. And Rosa, do you like to watch Electricians?
No, my father likes to watch them so that he can make sure they are doing a good job. They are building a new kitchen at my parents' house.
Very good. Now you can look and listen so that you can practice. Look and listen. The plumbers left early so that they could beat the traffic to the work site. Manny bought a new saw so that he could cut the boards easily. The screws were put in the truck so that they could be brought to the work site. The electrician left late so that he could meet his boss for a drink. Read and repeat. And now let's look at connectors of sequence. Connectors of sequence. Please have a look. John bought some nails. Afterwards, he rented a circular saw. Tim finished the desk. After that, he started to work on the sofa. Sue installed the sink. Then she connected the pipes. Fred rented a ladder. Next, he bought some nails and screws. Afterwards, after, then, and next are all connectors of sequence. We use them when one event follows another. They usually begin the second sentence and a comma is used after the connector. Let's practice. This should be easy for you because we've already studied adverbs of sequence. Rosa, do you help your father when he does carpentry work?
A little bit. I watch him until he is finished. After that, I help him clean up.
Great. Monica, do you help your father when he does electrical work?
He doesn't do it. The electricians do it. And he watches them. Then he gets angry when they do a bad job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lewis, do you watch your father do plumbing work?
I watch him. Afterwards, I tell him what he did wrong.
You're always a funny man, Lewis. Okay, thank you. First we reviewed, and then we studied connectors, and now we're going to look and listen. Look and listen. The man went to the building site. Then he spoke with the carpenters. Bob built a new chair. Afterwards, he left his mess for his wife to clean. Kevin bought some new boards. Next, he bought some nails. The electrician finished installing the outlet. Then he plugged the lamp in. Read and repeat. Right, well now let's look at connectors for events happening at the same time. Connectors, events happening at the same time. Here are some examples for you. The carpenter was relaxing, meanwhile the plumber was working hard. Betty was cleaning the house. At the same time, her husband was fixing the clogged drain. Meanwhile, and at the same time, are connectors which have the same meaning as while. Two things happening together at the same time. They are followed by a comma. Meanwhile, comma, at the same time, comma. Let's practice. Lewis, what does a carpenter's helper do while a carpenter is working?
The carpenter may be building a chair, meanwhile the carpenter's helper may be handing him nails.
Very good, Lewis. Rosa, what does an electrician's helper do while the electrician is working?
The electrician might be putting in an outlet. At the same time, the helper might be cutting the wire.
Excellent. Monica, what does a plumber's helper do while the plumber is working?
The plumber may be working in the shower. Meanwhile, his helper might be cleaning pipes.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone. And now you will be looking. Meanwhile, you will be listening. Look and listen. Rita was painting the boards. Meanwhile, her husband was sharpening his saw. One carpenter was working on the roof. At the same time, the other one was working in the basement. Hank was using a hammer. Meanwhile, Joe was using a screwdriver. Lyle was cutting boards. At the same time, the electrician was cutting wire. Read and repeat. And now let's look at one more type of transition words. Transition words. These are transition words which give examples. Examples. Here are some sentences for you to look at. Joe is a good carpenter. For example, his furniture always lasts a long time. Tom is a bad carpenter. For example, his furniture always falls apart. For example, and for instance, are used to support